two more. Oh, Rob's one. Sorry. And then we've got Joe's with us. He's still getting his audio working. Okay. McDonald? I'm not sure. I presume so.
Okay, Joe Rivera is here. Can y'all hear me?
We got you, Joe. Thanks. All right.
Jeremy's came on too.
Jeremy's came on. Just hang on a second. I'll get Jeremy's audio here.
Joe Rivera is here. Can y'all hear me?
We got you, Joe. Thanks. All right.
Jeremy's came on too.
Jeremy's came on. Just hang on a second. I'll get Jeremy's audio here. So yours are 45, 75.
No, there's Ian and Rob. And then the camera on the back of the screen.
Hopefully I look a long ways away and not down the river.
McDonald had a thing that says that you can.
Joe Rivera is here. Can y'all hear me?
We got you, Joe. Thanks. Jeremy's came on. Just hang on. All right. Jeremy looks connected, but on mute, so I think you're the only one.
In this video, I'll show you how to set up and manage live streams in YouTube's Live Control Room. We've built a brand new stream workflow in Live Control Room that combines the best. In this video, I'll show you how to set up and manage live streams in YouTube's Live Control Room. We've built a brand new stream workflow in Live Control Room that combines the best. In this video, I'll show you how to set up and manage live streams in YouTube's Live Control Room. We've built a brand new stream workflow in Live Control Room that combines the best. In this video, I'll show you how to set up and manage live streams in YouTube's Live Control Room. We've built a brand new stream workflow in Live Control Room that combines the best. In this video, I'll show you how to set up and manage live streams in YouTube's Live Control Room. We've built a brand new stream workflow in Live Control Room that combines the best.
This is the one that Dave Wally, 8.2 acres that, actually there was a purchase sales agreement. He has asked, due to the COVID-19 situation and the challenge of securing funding, he is still wanting to move forward with it, but he has asked for a 6-month extension of the due diligence period. That's something for consideration, I don't know, maybe at a later time, but that's where he's at. He still is very desirous of that. I do know that we, prior to everything kind of hitting the COVID-19, we did have a couple of leads where we were working with him on that project. So, that would be up to the commissioners how you want to act on that. But, I'm anticipating we're gonna receive some type of formal request from him, within the next few days, to make that ask. But the last communication I had was verbally, he stated this was his desire. And I think he's been in communication with, potentially Mark Kelly, and I don't remember if he has or not, but that's what they're looking at, and Mark might be able to address that, when it's time to raise report. Project North, that's, North Ranch, area that's, basically across.
Those of us who can stay home need to stay home.
Listen, we gotta all stop the spread of COVID-19.
They're on that 114 acres. That's a project that we're looking at some involvement in, as you know, with the possibility of some funding and efforts for infrastructure upgrade and improvement to this site. We actually have a meeting scheduled with them tomorrow. I think it's at 3 o'clock is scheduled for that meeting to talk about zoning issues, the rezoning of that site, and probably a few other issues as they continue down the road for the development of that site. Project JC is actually on your agenda, and it was actually part of the consent document for the A-Drain, and the item, item 5 under the consent document, so that's moving forward for development of that 35 acre plus site, again, the corner of Aviation in 2026, part of the Sky Ranch area. Project Chad is an industrial need we've been working on there out of Florida. Still desirous of a 50,000 square foot facility and relocation into the Caldwell area from Florida. Actually, I believe that's an expansion. I talked to them not too long ago, but they're still active, but everything is on hold, as you might expect, again, with the COVID-19 situation that we're dealing with. Project Prometheus, very similar situation. Project Chad is industrial need we've been working on here as well. I do have still desirous of a 50,000 square foot facility and relocation in the Caldwell area from with the actually expansion that process. I talked to them about when we received them on they're still active, but everything is on hold. As you know, we have reviewed proposals, situation discussion regarding Creekside development. Project Prometheus was a very similar situation. Project Chad and industrial good here as well. I do have still desirous of a 50,000 square foot facility and relocation. Whomever we call it from they were both actually there as an expansion. I talked to them about just they're still active. Continue to have discussions with folks downtown, proposals, situation discussion on area of Creekside development. Project Prometheus was a similar situation. Project Chad and
In this video, I'll show you how to set up and manage live streams.
The newer project is big, whomever it is, experience, and they were both actually there in the expansion. 30,000 square feet still active. We continue to have discussions with folks downtown, proposals, and discussion on area of Creekside development. Project Prometheus was a similar situation.
In this video, I'll show you how to set up and manage live streams.
The newer project is big, whomever it is, experience, and they were both actually there in the interestingly, we've got 30,000 square feet turning around, still active. We continue to have discussions with folks downtown, proposals, and discussion on area of Creekside development. Prometheus was a similar situation.
In this video, I'll show you how to set up and manage live streams.
The newer project is big, whomever it is, experience, and they were both actually there in the interestingly, we've got 30,000 square feet turning around, still active. We continue to have discussions with folks downtown, we did discussion on area of Creekside development. Prometheus was a similar. And then Project Utility, this is a new one I'm working on now, it's still active. Excuse me. We're working on that one with their broker, about 50 jobs. There's a couple of sites in the urban renewal district, but in the area of Sky Ranch, but not part of Sky Ranch. Be about 50 employees. of the sites that they're looking at, both sites have city water but not city sewer to the sites yet. However, their use of the sewer system would be minimal impact. At one of the sites, there is in fact, I believe, maybe even on both, the septic system. So we'll work closely with Public Works and our engineering folks and make sure that that works. So we're trying to look at scheduling potentially a Zoom meeting with the Red Carpet team to have some discussion about that. Some of the other items real quick, continue working with the Innovation Center as we look at growing and developing that idea and concept. We're just trying to keep the team together on that and look at alternative sites for that site. Continue to look at a downtown site for that use. Continue to have discussions with developers from outside the state for multifamily housing. They're looking throughout the city with a couple of sites within the Urban Renewal District. And then the last item on my list is we continue to work with the Treasure Valley Community College on the development of an aircraft maintenance facility to be located at Caldwell Industrial Airport. We had meetings last week. They seem to be getting closer on that opportunity with the potential of a volunteer, not volunteer, but somebody that would be able to
Those of us who can stay home need to stay home.
Listen, we gotta all stop the spread of COVID-19 and help flatten the curve.
So if you can, please.
Please stay home.
Here's the plan.
That are available right now, and we'll be bringing that back to you at a later date for potential discussion on potential of acquiring one of those buildings for kind of a dual use that would include a potential use that the city could have for a hangar, as well as Treasure Valley Community College and the A&P, the maintenance program. So with that, that's the report I have for from the month of March. If there's any questions, I'm happy to address.
Mr. Foltz, on the Wally property, we're past the PSA deadline already, or is it close?
It seems to me that we were looking at the 18th was the deadline on that, so that's coming up later this week.
We'll get more information.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Mr. Foltz?
Yes, Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
Joe, I got a question for him real quick.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, you mentioned with the project chat, you said it was part of action item number 5?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
No, he's asking if Project Chat was part of our action item number 5.
Oh, no, Project Chat is not.
Okay, you did mention one of them was part of action item number 5, or did I not hear you right?
Oh, so the one for item 5 is the consent would have been JC. That's right, Project JC. And just to reveal that, that's JC actually stood for John Lottie and Corey Martin, who own the lot. So I could probably take that off. But that is the Lottie property where we did approve the $150,000 for the A-drain piping. So that's what Project JC is.
Okay, I couldn't find an item or action item number 5 on the consent.
Yeah, I don't, that was the Trinity, Trilogy Drain Development thing, which I don't think is on tonight's, oh, it was the, on the consent calendar number 5. Yeah, we've already approved it. Got it. Okay, any other questions for Mr. Foltz?
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
Chairman Wagner here.
Go ahead,
So
Jeremy.
I just have a couple, I had to first make a comment that from the video, Steve has never looked better. He's really looking better than what we can see.
That is his best side.
Easily my best side.
So I believe it's the Project Timber, which is at the corner of Linden and KCID.
Yes.
So as you're where I live, just one property down from that, and the neighbor that lives directly across the street from the building, that White House there at the corner, he just moved in. He approached me to find out who owns owns that property, and I wasn't sure if it had been transferred yet, so it sounds like it hasn't. But he's wondering about who he could contact the farm. So just to keep weeds down, I think he's afraid it's gonna grow a lot of weeds and on his property if he does farming. He's wondering if it's possible to reach out to somebody that you can farm that, just or whatever, to keep the weeds down. Would you reach out to for that?
Yeah. What he's asking is, there's a neighbor that's interested in farming that property, the weeds down. And wanted to know if that was an option. It may well be an option now that, Mr. Wally is not going to close on that. So, I guess we should, consider something there. I don't know, if it's getting kind of late in the year. So when Mr. Hilty does his report, we'll figure out if we're gonna continue ownership of that for a while.
Again, Mr. Chairman, determine no owns it, and, after the 18th, will still be in ownership of that. And if I favor Mr. Wally's proposal, that's 6 months, so I think that's not a bad.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Fuller?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Steve, is there any, movement with McCain? Are they still on schedule as to, building this fall?
Mr. Chairman and Commissioner, McCain has, and I think they mentioned this in the last report, is that they have called, and again, with the COVID-19 issue, they have asked, or they have stated that they anticipate the groundbreaking that they were hoping to do this spring, more than likely would be next spring for that, because the market has caused them so much issue as far as demand is down. And so they are scheduled to be in town sometime in June to meet with us to give us an update. But as of right now, again, they own the property, and it's their intent, and speaking with the lead on that project, Dale McCarthy, he stated, we own the land, we are planning to build a building. It's just a matter of when, and we anticipate probably starting next year versus this year. So that's the latest I have on that. If in fact they're able to make it into the area in June and were to have the meeting, I would be happy to give you a follow-up from that meeting and plan to do that as well. But as of right now, it appears that that project is on hold for probably 1 year.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Mr. Fuller? Sounds like we've got through them all. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. That takes us then to the retail economic development report. Mr. Jenkins.
Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners. Thank you all for having me. This is a newer project I'll start with. This is Project Fry. I had some dialogue with the owner and manager of a restaurant group, and they've been looking at downtown Caldwell for quite some time. I just wanted to check base with them just to see where they're at with the COVID-19 pandemic going on. And they're still very interested in locating to the downtown area here in Caldwell. Obviously, they're working through the tropes of what's going on here with the pandemic, but they're a local chain that focuses on the farm to fork mission. Project Kitchen, they're a light manufacturer, they're a storage facility. They're seeking 10,000 square feet out in the Sky Ranch area. The owner, he's open to building a new facility from the ground up to build a suite option, but he needs 1 to 2 acres in a visible area within the Sky Ranch area is where he's kind of focusing his attention. So he came out in February before all this, before the crisis kind of took place. He was really excited about what he saw in February, so he's still interested in coming as well. He just says, you know, as things settle down, he'll look to move forward and make some serious moves there. Also touch base with Project Radio. In light of the COVID-19 pandemic, he said that he is still very excited and interested in coming to Caldwell. He said he has some reserves that he's set aside to get out here and to locate into the area, and he's still planning to do that. He hopes that he can get it done in the summer, just depending on when things might settle down here. Also, here's a reminder, the Cleveland Event Center, the RFP, as you all are aware, closes on Friday, and I've sent the RFP to a number of developers across the state, and I have a confirmation that at least one group will be submitting. So we're excited about that, and we'll see what comes on Friday as well. So I sent out reminder emails just to let people know what's to come. And then lastly, this didn't make the agenda, but I actually just heard from this gentleman recently. And, this is Project Invent, and they were looking at, 160,000 square foot facility, in the Sky Ranch area as well. And, he said the same thing. He said he's still interested in coming, still needs land, he still, has plans to expand. And his business, because of what they do, they're doing pretty well at this time. So he said that they've actually increased their revenue, so he's not in a position to look elsewhere to go against his plans at this point. So he says he's still moving forward with that. As soon as he's able to pick things up and get things in order, he's ready to come. And that's all I have tonight, unless you have any questions I can address for you.
Any questions for Mr. Jenkins? Oh, they wasted all their breath on Mr. Foltz. All right, thank you, appreciate it. All right, Mr. Attorney, we've got a purchase and sale agreement item on all business for Mr. Wally that we've been talking around tonight.
Right, good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Dave Wally is actually out of contract at this point. I think the latest date on which he could have closed was April 3rd. He advised Steve, as Steve reported, that given the COVID-19 situation, he was not able to arrange for financing and requested a 6-month extension. The contract that we entered into simply provides that it would automatically terminate in the event that he didn't approve his due diligence period. He did not do that. It expired, and so at this point, contract, he would simply be entitled to receive his earnest money back. He has requested the 6-month extension. This was not agendized as an action item tonight, and so I think what I would do to kind of frame the discussion is just ask the agency, commissioners, are you interested in me preparing and bringing back an amendment to extend the timelines of this PSA for 6 months? Or do we just want to proceed forward from here where the property is not currently under contract to anybody?
Well, I'm just going to jump out here with my thoughts, Mr. Attorney. We've given Mr. Wally several chances at this, and he clearly is not doing this as a spec project as he originally told us he was going to. Otherwise, he already started on it. He obviously is looking for a tenant. I would just as soon keep it in the Urban Renewal Agency's arsenal as a potential site for anybody coming in than to have it locked up with somebody who may or may not move forward on it. But that's my 2 cents. I don't know if anybody feels differently.
I don't, Mr. Chairman, but I would concur. I can't recall a project where he has actually followed through in a timely manner. Every time he's approached Urban Renewal, and that goes back to days when I just sat in the audience listening and watching. So I would agree with you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else want to weigh in?
This is Chris. I agree as well.
I agree also.
Yeah. Ms. Warwick agrees as well. So I think we have a direction there, Mr. Attorney. We're going to go ahead and put it back in Mr. Foltz's arsenal of available properties, and off we go. So.
That sounds good. I'll proceed accordingly. On the Creekside Development Project, we had a video conference on Friday. Back up, because a week ago Friday. So it involved several members of the Economic Development team, several members of the development team. As you know from my previous reporting on this topic, there are several concerns with how the project is currently poised and proposed. We have communicated those concerns. From my perspective, we have a development team on the other side that is taking those concerns seriously. They are thinking creatively. They are looking for solutions. I think we're making progress, and the situation is getting better. It's clear that we're not there yet. I sent a letter back to them last week indicating kind of where we felt like we were still some distance apart. I got an email from their team lead today. He wants to get together and talk about what the next steps might be. So the short story is that we don't have a recommendation for you tonight. From the economic development team side, that's all we could give you is a recommendation.
You are unmuted. You are unmuted.
Decide whether they wanted to accept this proposal and go forward. My suspicion is that this will be before you for a decision, at your next agency meeting. We may, certainly invite, the developer to come and make a presentation to you, but in the meantime, we're going to continue to work with them. They've been very responsive, and we're trying to figure out how to wrestle with, the issues that remain. So, it's in process. I certainly stand for any questions on that you have.
Any questions for Mr. Hilty on Creekside? Sounds like you're on the right track, Mr. Hilty.
Mr. Chairman, if you're comfortable, I'll move on to the next item.
Please do. Maybe I'm muted. Am I muted?
I think we may have lost the chairman. Maybe I'm muted.
Hold on, sorry.
Our pilot has, see, you can't be a pilot, I'm just saying. I think we're back. Yes, Mr. Hilty, I think I've told you a couple of times and you didn't hear me. Move on, we're good.
All right.
Sorry, Ron.
I'm sorry, were there questions on Creekside?
I don't believe so, Mr. Hilty.
On Cleveland Event Center, I don't have anything to add over what Steve reported in his economic development report, other than he did share with the team that we had one developer who was potentially going to submit early, which is obviously a good sign. My recommendation is we'll need to keep that confidential. We certainly don't want the suggestion that any response was leaked out prior to the deadline. So we'll see how that goes, but one way or another, the deadline's Friday, and we're anxious for what we'll...
Any questions for Mr. Hilty on the Cleveland project? Oh, man, they're letting you off easy tonight. Okay, thank you, Mr. Hilty. Our next item under new business is to consider the approval of the Business Improvement Grant Agreement with Capital Distributing for January 1st through December 31st, January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2021, in the amount of $200,000. Mr. Faltz, you're presenting this for us?
Yes, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, as you're aware, the Capital Distributing Company came through here probably about 2 years ago as they were looking at developing that 50 acres, that 230,000 square foot building out on KCID and Skyway. At the time that they were submitting for the rezone and annexation with everything else they had applied for and was approved initially for the business improvement grant in the amount of 20 plus jobs. 20 jobs at $10,000 per job for the $200,000 grant. Again, was initially approved by the Urban Renewal Agency. They are now in a position where everybody has been hired. They far exceed the 20. It seems to me they had more than 70. Do you recall, Carol, it seemed like there was more than 70 employees out there that actually qualified. They've got more than 70 employees, of course. They had more than 70 that actually qualified, so they more than met the criteria here. So with that, they submitted their report, and we would ask at this point for your consideration to give final approval for Capital Distributing Company on the BIG.
That may be me. Sorry about that. Go ahead. All right, so any questions concerning the application and agreements for the EIG grant? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion then for approval of the Business Improvement Grant Agreement with Capital Distributing.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Warwick. Second by someone else, maybe.
Jerem Wagner.
Jerem seconded, thank you. I knew there was a voice out there somewhere. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? It looks like you got your agreement. Thank you, Mr. Schultz. The next action item is to consider the acceptance of a request for proposal as presented by developers in the Urban Renewal Workshop held on March 30th and enter into a development agreement for the property located at Kimball and Arthur Street. This is to consider the two RFPs that were presented to us. Let's see, do I have these in front of me? I don't know if I have them in front of me. Hang on just a second. Yes, we do. Okay, so we have the presentation by URA April, and we also had a presentation by the Wade family for two different proposals, one for a brewery and a brew pub and food establishment. The other one was for kind of an event center and wine tasting and various tastings foods. Was what was involved. Is there any discussion about those two proposals?
Mr. Chair, this is Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
Both of them were excellent. We're very lucky to have such two quality candidates come forward with these ideas. I guess my question may be for either you or the attorney. When we choose one of these people, is there some skin in the game by them to make sure that they're going to continue with it? How does that work exactly?
Once you select the proposed developer, then we enter into negotiations on a development agreement that will capture the obligations and responsibilities of both sides. The next step is to negotiate a contract that is binding on both parties. As we negotiate, of course, they're not bound to anything until we get that process completed and signed. And that's true for everybody who responds to these parties.
So once we have negotiated and come to an agreement, then we do have, they have some ownership and we have some ownership at that point?
Yes, correct. Both sides would have contractual obligations, that's right.
Okay, that's what I was after. Thank you.
And if you remember, Mr. Allgood, with the theater site, the actual transfer of the property doesn't commence until we're well into the committed process. So it's not like we lose interest in the property before they turn dirt.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions about the proposals? Anybody favor one over another and put that out there as a discussion item?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I was really more favorably impressed with the brew pub presentation, and of the two candidates, they were the ones that mentioned some things that would help strengthen their own presence in the downtown area. They talked about creating 40 jobs. They talked about putting billboards on the freeways that would help direct people into the city center, and it certainly would draw a student age and a student-focused crowd back down to the center of the city, and that's something that we've always wanted to see happen. Another thing that troubled me was when we asked the other party, the Wade family, about the location, and their business model, they kind of inferred that we can't live without the plaza, meaning the model itself wasn't strong enough to carry the business forward if they weren't in that particular location. And that's kind of a backwards way to enter into a new business, in my opinion. I really do favor the Side Brewing from the asset that it would become down there on that particular corner.
Yes, Mr. Porter, I agree with you. I think that they both were making a bigger investment and a bigger commitment and creating, another activity center, whereas I think the other proposal was more of just something else to do if you're already downtown. That's what it felt like.
Mr. Chairman, if I could add to that, if we ever, do something different with those properties down on the 200 side of, Kimball, perhaps that would be a better place for a wine tasting and an art gallery, rather than the two businesses that are in there now.
Yeah, I really did like their portrayal of the activity of that particular intersection in those corners. It really does complement what's already there, and I thought that really was an impressive part of the presentation. Any other comments? Any contrary views?
Mr. Chair, this is Chris.
Yes, Chris. Mr. Albright.
I don't have any contrast. I agree with Jim. And I liked, Friday's opinion that at first they were talking about leasing and they had those 4 years, and that they just decided to go ahead and do it and invest completely right now. That impressed me. I was happy with that, and I agree with Jim that it would draw a different demographic downtown that is probably missing so far.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, Mrs. Moore.
I agree with Chris entirely. It's going to draw a demographic down there that we're not currently drawing. And I think it's going to be a good one to get downtown.
Good. Well, it sounds like we're heading in a decision direction. I would entertain a motion for approval of one RFP over another.
Mr. Chairman?
Ms. Warwick.
I would move that we accept the request for proposal presented by Static Brewing for the Kimball and Arthur Street location.
And direct our city attorney to work through the documentation for that agreement.
Yes.
Sounds good. Is there a second?
Second. Joe Ramirez.
Second by Mr. Ramirez. Any further discussion on the motion, which is to award the RFP to Side Brewing and engage our legal services to begin the documentation required for that agreement and proposal? Would the secretary call the roll, please?
Yes. Warwick?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
Allgood?
Yes.
Ramirez? Ramirez?
Yes.
Hopper?
Yes.
Porter?
Yes.
Okay, we have a decision. Thank you very much, everyone. That takes us then to the invoices for payment for the month of April. Ms. Mitchell.
Thank you, Commissioners. Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners. You have before you tonight a request to approve payments in the amount of $28,767.50 for the following invoices. The monthly economic development support of $18,000, our monthly legal fees to our attorney of $5,940, and our second payment for the ICRIM annual insurance premium of $4,827.50. And with that, I'll stand for questions.
I just have one question, Ms. Mitchell. Is ICRIM aware of, as we are transferring some of these properties between the city and the Urban Renewal Agency, which properties they're actually insuring?
Yes.
Okay.
Our secretary and our esteemed city clerk is very diligent about
I'm sure about that.
keeping
I
track
just
of that.
wanted to put that on the record. Thank you very much. Any discussion about the invoices for April? I would entertain a motion. Yes.
Mr. Chris, I move we accept the invoices as presented.
Moved by Mr. Allgood.
Second.
Second by Ms. Warwick for approval of the invoices for April. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. We have a ratification for payment on for April as well. Ms. Mitchell.
Yes, this is for ratification of the payment to Walco Land Company. You approved this back in February when we entered into that purchase and sale agreement with them. So this is the deposit on that property of $27,500.
Okay. Any questions concerning this invoice payment? I would entertain a motion then to ratify that payment to Wellco Land Company. Moved by Ms. Warwick. Second by Mr. Ramirez, I believe. All those in... Oh, Mr. Ford, okay. Mr. Ford. Yes. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? And that takes us to the treasurer's report, Ms. Mitchell.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, tonight you have before you the treasurer's report. We're going to start in the gray box, start at the bottom, and move our way up. You have a total of $16,797,794.41. That is in three accounts. The LGIP account of $115,578.66. Banner Bank CD at $250,380.49, and your operating account of $16,431,835.26. The operating account breaks down into the following categories. We have restricted for other taxing districts at $9,607,219. The Caldwell projects, restricted for Caldwell projects at $3,060,148. Our TVCC money, this is from previous rentals from TVCC, at $634,017. And then our land account at $3,130,449. And I will stand for questions.
Any questions for Ms. Mitchell on the monthly reconciliation report? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Warwick. Second by Mr. Allgood, I believe, for the monthly cash reconciliation. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that's been approved. Mr. Attorney, do you have anything else for us tonight?
Very briefly, Mr. Chairman, under consent calendar item 2, you approved the contract to design the roadway in Sky Ranch North, which is, as you know, a BVA project. I've been working with the attorney for BVA. We have a development agreement negotiated that the next step is before the agent for approval. We didn't make it tonight, but it will be ready in the near future. That agreement is important before we start actually spending any money because it requires the annexation of the property. It requires the dedication of the right-of-way and outlines parties responsible for completing the roadway and so forth. We're going to work out, as Steve mentioned, zoning issues, which I don't present because I don't think it's going to be a problem, tomorrow. And then after we may have those documents ready for approval. It may be that we need that soon, next regular meeting, and we'll be, Mr. Chairman, if we could read a special meeting at some point to deal with those documents. Sorry they weren't on the agenda. Just a quick update on that.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Hilty. I guess one of the things just for the rest of the commission to understand and know is that we can't actually build any of the roadways in that area until those rights-of-way are dedicated to the city, because otherwise we'd be building on private property, and that's not allowed under urban renewal law. So that's part of that process. I know there's been the BVA closing has been hadn't occurred yet. I don't know if they've actually completed that yet, Mr. Hilty, have they?
I don't know for sure. I think that they have.
I'd heard that they were trying to get that done the first week of April, but I don't think we've got that confirmed yet. But that's the first step for them to be able to dedicate the right of way through to us. So that's kind of part of the holding pattern too. Anything else, Mr. Hilty?
No, that's it.
All right, sounds good. I don't really have any other news. Ms. Mitchell does have something else for us, so I'll defer my report to Ms. Mitchell.
Thank you. Sorry. I just want to bring the commission up to date on some communication we've had from 4 of our rental properties two that are on North Kimball and the other two that are on South Kimball. One on North and one on South, they're both hair salon places, and so they have been totally shut down due to this COVID-19. So we have agreed to not issue them any rent notice for the month of April. And then the bakery that's on the south of Kimball, they have also asked if we would work with them on payment plans. So we are in the process, that communication came from them on Friday, so we are working with them to try and work out some type of a payment plan.
Yeah, I think that's in line with the spirit of everyone trying to cooperate through this, and certainly it's not gonna kill us to be forgiving in some of those areas. We would rather to see those businesses survive than to be put under any other kind of financial pressure. So, thank you, Ms. Mitchell. Anyone disagree with that direction? Sounds not. Any commissioners have anything to address the agency on? How is this Zoom meeting working out for you guys? Is it working okay?
It's better in person, but this is working fine.
All right. I agree.
Works great. Few microphone and sound issues, but it's work just fine.
We'll get better over time.
I agree. Looks good.
All right, good. All right, not knowing any other business before us, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Warwick,
So moved.
second by Mr. Ramirez, it sounds like.
Okay.
Close enough? All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are done. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. Appreciate all your attention tonight. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, everybody take care. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, stay safe. It might be in the future good to put